Well, today with this current economic climate, everybody is wondering how you get more with less. How do you get more out of your people, if you will? There's not a lot of raises to go around, so we actually get busier in these times. People are looking for ideas on how you recognize and how you reward people without being able to give raises in some cases, with layoffs, and people are taking over new jobs. And so recognition becomes a strategy, and we've shown with our 200,000 person survey over 10 years, this really is a hard business strategy. That great organizations recognize their people and move themselves forward by setting very clear goals and recognizing people when they achieve those goals. It sounds simple, but rare is the organization that actually does that. The Harvard Business Review, the Wall Street Journal, Fortune magazine have given some real nice credence to our work over the years now. That they've said, look, this is no longer the soft side of business. That recognition has been proven to create some real business results for organizations. The companies that we work with are in some of the hardest businesses around. They're in technology, they're in consumer goods, they're in services. And all of them have real business challenges, and they're looking to create real excitement for their people. We were in recently with Whirlpool, and Mike Todman, the CEO of Whirlpool, said, look, if we can recognize our employees, think of how stronger our brands will be. If every time we recognize somebody when they live our brand, it's going to move our company forward. It's going to be a lot more exciting place to work. We're all going to feel better about working here. And so the CEO at Whirlpool is the champion of recognition there. And so that shows you how many organizations are really taking this seriously. We want our audiences to walk away with some real tools that they can use tomorrow to begin engaging their employees. And these are very simple things, but a lot of times it's just giving managers permission to start recognizing. We teach them, in fact, 75% of managers don't recognize their employees for one reason or another. They're too busy, I don't know what to do, I don't have time for this in my very hectic schedule, I've got to focus on my customers and what the bosses want. And so we give them permission, we give them some very simple things to start doing by identifying what their key goals are, by starting with some very simple things like writing out some thank you notes before they even leave, and seeing the impact of those little efforts on their employees. We also teach them how to use their formal recognition tools that every organization already has, but they're just not being used to great effect. And so the idea is that a manager will start with some little things and really come up with some great kind of momentum to keep them going here from the speech. For example, I was in recently with Boeing. And Boeing has a very unique culture, and they bring in very few outside speakers. And so before we went in, I had a chance to speak with several people in their organization. I found a manager in Albuquerque who had one of the highest employee engagement scores every year throughout their system. And I talked to him about what he creates in his organization to make people feel like they love working there and they're loyal and they bring their best ideas every day. So when I got to that Boeing meeting in front of their CEO and their senior leadership team, I was able to speak about great examples and bring some managers up to the front, and we talked about recognition and what they were doing. And it made me seem like an insider to them. In fact, the meeting organizers said, it was a fun, engaging presentation, but when you got to the halfway point and you started talking about us, all of a sudden it became our meeting, and we forgot that you were from the outside. And you were showing us what was working within Boeing already, rather than bringing us ideas from the outside.